To many people, Dances with Wood is a woodworking program, but there's other layers to it which are very important. For me, primarily, it's an empowerment program for a child to discover their own creativity, and in and around that, find out who they are on the artistic level and on the creative level. To do that, I can probably best tell you a story of a child I worked with about 12 months ago. He was about 10-year-old. He was pretty tired. He'd been through a lot of treatment, and he wanted to build a race car. So we built a race car, and it took about 25 minutes. He didn't talk a lot. He just wanted to build. Then he painted it, and that took another 35-40 minutes. At the end of the painting, he just sat and he gazed at this car, and I was sitting next to him gazing at the car as well. And out of the corner of my eye, I could see him he began to nod his head. So I'm just sitting there, and then he turned to me and he said, "Woody," and there were tears in his eyes. He said, "Woody, I didn't know I could do that." And that for me was one of those yes moments, when you see that the process has allowed this child to experience something in himself which was always there. And I don't consider that I work with sick kids. I work with kids who are very healthy. It's their bodies who are sick. So when I walk into a hospital room, I'm seeing potential. And together, which is the dance, we dance through whatever the creativity is for that child. And I provide the props and the secure environment where that child is allowed to create and play and enjoy. And there was a little girl, about 2 years ago, I was walking along the school age unit, and a mother came out who I'd known very briefly before, and she said her daughter was in for another round of chemotherapy. She was very tired, but she would love to build a CD rack. But the mother warned me that she may not be able to finish it. So I went in, and the little girl was sitting in bed, propped up with pillows, really tired, so tired she couldn't even say hello. She was just very, very resting. And I put the project kit in front of her with a workbook, and then she began to open the workbook. She got the tools, and over about 25 minutes she built the whole CD rack. Didn't say a word. I'm sitting there in silence as well. At the end of it, she just sits and looks at this CD rack, and this big smile breaks out on her face, and she's just beaming at this CD rack. And then she turns and looks at me with the same smile, and her eyes close, and she slips back into her pillows, and her mother pulls sheets over her, and I take the tools and I disappear. About 10 days later, I get a note in my mailbox from the mother saying, "You'll never know what that experience meant to me and meant to my daughter." Because when my daughter smiled, that was the first time I've seen her smile in 3 weeks. But this also is a new initiative, and it means that in a hospital environment, the funds are very challenged, so any support we get from outside bodies that can help this program to live and grow, that's how this program really exists, through people who also see the need and are able to stand by it in that way.